Welcome back to Honey or Home. The topic of today's episode is honey, the expectations are high, and just like a lot of random catch-ups.
Yeah, we're catching up. Me and my neck burn are here in full force.
Can you show us your neck burn, please, for those that are watching?
It's gotten so much better. You guys can't even really see it, but it's just like itching now. It's in the itchy stage.
And tell us what happened.
New Year's Eve, was it? I was curling my hair with my curling iron, like I do, and I singed my neck. So that's been the theme of the past couple weeks for me, is just really nursing the neck burn. We've become very close. We've become best friends. Oh. She has a name, Naomi the neck burn. I just came up with that on the spot. And that's
okay, honestly, but you literally have a friend with a baby named Naomi.
Which I just thought of. And
what a great way to honor her. Yeah.
Brooke, if you're listening, which you are because you always say you listen to every
episode.
Naomi
did not come out of the blue.
I know. I couldn't think of any end names. I froze.
Obviously.
Mickey Jr. But before we move on, we have just a brief message from one of our favorite sponsors of all time, Bride Bright. Just like picture this, you're walking down the aisle at your wedding, or I don't know, you're giving birth to your baby in the hospital. You want to be smiling with a really bright white smile. Mike and I swear by their couples bundle. I know you guys do as well, because it's the first teeth whitener I've ever used that actually doesn't make my teeth hurt. You guys know I'm a literal dental drill sergeant about teeth and having good, perfect teeth. Check it out. Use code HONEY and you'll get a fantastic 40% off. That's code HONEY at checkout. Stay up to date with Bride Bright on Instagram at Bride Bright and TikTok at bride_bright. You can even go in store to Anthropologie, Saks, Bloomingdale's, Zola, and don't forget to visit their website, www.bridebright.co. That's bridebright.co, BRIDEBRITE.co. Use code HONEY.
First, let's cheers.
To what? Honestly, to what? There ain't nothing to cheers.
To just getting through the week. Honest to God, getting through the week.
I like that.
And to the end of dry January. Like I said, I wasn't going to do it, but I tried wet January.
Damp January.
In a way, it's a Wednesday, so.
Yeah.
And it's a Tuesday for you, and you might be having a glass of wine cooking dinner right now, so.
Amen.
You know what? We all tried.
You made it 9 days.
Valiant effort.
Cheers to that. I think it's skunked.
What a treat.
This wine bottle is 2 weeks old.
The thing is that I will drink it if it's old. I really don't care. John cares. John, smells it first, and I'm like.
Really? Between the two of you, who is, the person at the table that the waiter goes to with the wine?
Usually it's me.
It's always the man.
Well, it's me if it's the two of us.
Really?
I think because they more often bring it to the woman. But I have noticed that anytime that we're out to dinner with a group of people, it's him.
John does take charge in a group.
He does. He always does the order. Well, I do. I realized at a group dinner, not a group dinner, a double date over the weekend. Thank God the girl that we were with, she was similar to me where she was like, he knows what I like. I don't want to engage in banter with the waiter. So you know what I mean? He's not going to order anything I don't like. Order a bunch of stuff for the table. Order just a bunch of stuff for everybody to try. You're not ordering for me.
Yeah.
It's just that you're curating a tasting menu for all of us. And I realize that I really like that when John does it. And I don't know if it's a little bit antiquated because I guess I'm almost saying order for me.
Yeah. I love when other people do that. It's more me though. Even if Mike is there, I take the charge with the ordering.
Yeah. Okay. So
but I wish somebody else would. It depends. If there's a really strong personality, they do and I let them.
Yeah.
But it's usually me.
If there's something I really want off of a menu, I will say
yeah.
Or now that I think about it, I suppose John always says, is there anything you want, babe? That you definitely want to have. But when we're with a group, I do prefer somebody else just
take charge.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah. I don't know. I was at the New Year's Eve dinner we did with our friends. I was the person that the waiter went to with the sake. And I felt really cool because I was they're coming to me. I must be asserting dominance,
Like that. Do you know what I do find to be really hot though is when they come to John with the taste of wine and he's she can taste it. It's okay. She can have it.
See, this is where our perspectives differ so much because now that I see how you would find that hot. With me, I'd be Mike, no, you do it.
You would be They bred it to you for a reason.
Yeah. I'd be like, stop deferring to me.
Wait.
Maybe that's because he does defer to me a lot on things and it overwhelms me sometimes.
I think for me, it's like, but that makes sense because you're doing the ordering. So like, this is his little thing to have, like taste the wine.
Yeah. Like,
and so since I'm like, John, it's okay. Like, order just a bunch of stuff. Like, we kind of already talked about it. Now you do the actual ordering. Like, I like it when the wine comes to the table and he's like, no, like, let her decide. Like, let her taste it. Let her decide. So I am deferring to him and then he's re-deferring back to me.
The waiter's like, one of you fucking decide.
Yeah, no, they do look at us both like left and right. And they're like, this is not fun for me. Like, they don't enjoy it.
Oh, God bless waiters. Okay, well, I feel like we have some situations to catch up on. The uni, as I said on the way here, the universe does not love me lately. Yeah. The traffic was bad on the way here. I was like, the universe has really thrown me a couple curveballs in January, but it's also throwing me good stuff, so I can't like complain too much. Sorry, universe, if you're hearing this, don't like think I'm ungrateful and then like not reward me.
Don't spit on our food.
Right. Yeah, just like treat me well. Please, I'm grateful for everything. Okay. So,
but you have something that went on with Louie and we need to hear about it.
A big situation. I will try to keep it brief. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you probably saw, just to explain some quick background, Louie, Saturday night, Mike and I are having our first chill weekend in a while. Louie starts getting very sick, starts vomiting profusely. Louie is our dog. He's almost 2 years old. He's a rescue. He's adorable.
And this is some clarification because online you said he was getting nauseous. And as a non-dog owner, I did ask myself, oh, how did you know that he was nauseous?
Good question. Valid.
Because he was vomiting
a lot. And he's not a vomiter. He doesn't. So when he does, and it's like fine if it's like one or two. This was like one after another, could not keep food down. And mind you, this is our literal baby. Like my sister's like talking to me from home. She has 2 kids. She's like, why are you caring that your dog's vomiting? She's like, my little golden doodle threw up 17 times in 1 hour once and we didn't care. Yeah. And like, yes, it'll change when we do have kids, I'm sure. But he's our baby. I birthed him. So we take him to the emergency vet. They basically like gave us all these like medications to do like outpatient outpatient treatment with him and sent us home and we're like, keep an eye on him, whatever. The next day, he just wasn't eating. That was a telltale sign. He was not hungry.
So you like feed him and he usually just like runs and like gobbles it up.
Inhales. We had to get a special bowl so he doesn't eat it too fast and his stomach
doesn't the one with the little maze?
Yes.
Okay, love those. But so like, if he sniffs his food and walks away, you're like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So we're calling the vet. We're like, what do we do? They were just kind of like, keep an eye. If he still doesn't in a couple hours, come back in. He was like fine, sort of, but like acting weird and tired and whatnot and not eating. I took him back during the day. They did this like injectable fluid thing that like was a big like sub-Q injections. Other dog parents will know what I'm talking about. It's this big giant hump in the back that's like, it's like basically giving them an IV fluid, but that they can walk around with and like leave with under the skin. Insurance? Yes, thank God.
Okay, because I'm like sitting here thinking
thousands.
Like, oh my God.
If we like right now, we haven't gotten reimbursed yet with the insurance. I'm out that my credit card's like $5,000+. So
lovely.
Yeah. So get your pet insurance. So they send us back home. They're like, okay, he seems to be doing okay and better.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just thinking about how I would spend that on clothes. And you're like, I actually have to spend this on my dog's welfare.
It's insane. It's like having a child.
Yeah,
so anyways, they send us back home with like more marching orders, medicine, etc. We're still like monitoring and fine, whatever. So this is now after our second time being at the vet.
Okay.
Nighttime rolls around. Mike's in bed. I'm just finishing up my nighttime skin care routine in a robe. All of a sudden, Mike had just taken him out and was like, he had this crazy diarrhea. We're inside, again, finishing up my nighttime skincare, very peaceful Sunday night, getting ready for the big work week. All of a sudden, it's like 11 p.m., blowout all over the bedroom carpet, bloody diarrhea. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm being very TMI.
No.
All over. This is where Mike and I get frantic.
Okay, but this is where I would like to freeze time and be like, how did you react versus how did Mike react? And was it like stressful?
Very good question. Mike's calmer. I'm more stressful. I'm screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the foulest smell. Like poop smells bad.
Oh yeah.
But this
like I
times
know.
10.
Yeah,
dog owners know and humans. Like when we have
No, I know. Well, that's why I say John's farts smell like dog shit. So like it's not because it's a compliment. Sorry, John.
And so, I mean, we're like rolling around in the diarrhea at this point. Like, I'm frantically trying to like get Louis up, but also like clean and spray. Because if you let it sit in the carpet for too long, that'll stay. It's all over my nice robe. Mike's like, I'm just going to suit him up and like go outside, like get his harness on, trying to get his harness on, take him back out.
There's no time to suit him up.
It's dripping all over. Carpet, living room, everything. And the smell, I'm crying from the smell.
Oh, God.
So Mike takes him outside. He calls me from outside. He's like, I'm just taking him straight to the vet. I don't know what to do. It's dripping everywhere, blah, blah. I'm like, go. I'll bring your stuff. Go, go, go. I'll meet you. We go to the vet, and that was the night that we stayed overnight. So Sunday night into Monday. And they run every test in the book. Long story short, we don't know what exactly caused this, which is like sad and scary. But all we know is the tests were all coming back normal, which is a good thing. Like sometimes it's like a dog has a sock and they swallowed a sock and that's what's causing. Louis didn't do anything like that. So
is that worse if they swallowed a sock? It's like hard to get out or something?
Yeah, you have to like surgically remove it.
Oh, no. Okay.
But so yeah, point of this whole story is it was just a crazy test for the two of us. Like everybody was DMing me being like, this is what having a child is like. Everyone thought we were such good dog parents because we spent the night. It wasn't even a question in my mind. I was like, I can't leave. It was like a lot of work. Like I had to like clean off his diarrhea butt every hour and like put new medicine on it. And the vets were all doing that too, but like not with the care. You know, they're busy. They have other dogs. I like wanted Louis to have individualized care.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also humanize Louis more than the vet does.
Yes. Yes. Louis is a human. We've talked about this before. Louis gets treated like a human, not a dog. So this is all. We spend the night. I posted on my story. Mike did probably my turn on of the week when we get to that. They put us in this little room and he insisted on sleeping on the cold, hard tile with Louis. Yeah. Like to comfort him. When there was a futon and they were like, he was like, you sleep on the futon, like you sprawl out on there, I'll sleep down here. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's really hot and cute. Yeah. And it really was like a
because
test.
Beauty doesn't come for free. It needs sleep.
Exactly. I was like, thank you. I like, there's no way I'm and I get colder. I'm colder.
Oh.
I can't be on tile.
Who can sleep when they're cold?
Yeah. No.
Only men.
There were blankets and stuff, but Louis, again, was like pooping all over the blankets 24/7. So Mike like literally slept in a puddle of Louis' diarrhea, which was really hot in a weird way. So.
Because he's willing to get down and dirty. And honestly, this makes sense to me because it is the tale of the man that didn't like used to change the diapers.
Yes.
You know, it's like you won't get your hands dirty. And
men are getting their hands dirty now.
And as advanced as we are as a society, I do think it's still ingrained in us not to expect them not to get their hands dirty, but then to like still be impressed when they're willing to. Even though that's like baseline expectation for us, we totally understand that we're like the spawn of generations where like men never got their hands dirty. So even to like see Mike get his hands dirty with like Louis or be willing to do like the gross stuff is like, impressive. I don't know, it's like a glimpse into your future where you're like,
right.
It's almost a little reassuring, even though you never really questioned if he was going to like be non-helpful.
Right, right.
You're like seeing it firsthand.
Well, and exactly. It was like you said, a glimpse into the future and a really good way. We both just like snapped into like partner mode, taking care of this little being and like unspokenly just picked up different responsibilities. Like Mike is really good he just like memorized Louis' medications. We have like 7 medications to give this dog now to heal him. Yeah. It's like a probiotic, anti-nausea, all this stuff. And Mike's just like has it in his brain somehow. I like had to write it down and have to keep having to look back. Mike's like, no, we give him his medication this time. He's just very on top of it, which I really appreciate. He slept on the floor. I'm more of like the diaper rash cream in the butthole.
Right, but you're both.
We're sharing those responsibilities, and I think that's so important. Yeah. And the last thing I have to make about how this helped our relationship, there was one moment on Monday during the day when we were still at the vet. Louis was like really just not feeling well. We could just tell he had the cone on his head. It was so sad. He's looking into my eyes. I'm petting his face. He gives me this look of like, Mom, what's going on? I start crying. And I was just like, this is heartbreaking. Like, I can't even tell him it's going to be okay. And Mike sees me and him and Louis, like, having this moment and literally started crying. Face red, tears. Now, for those of you who don't know us, Mike never cries.
Yeah.
So when he does, I've probably seen him cry twice in our lives. and I've known him forever.
Mm-hmm.
When I see him cry, it's like a big deal.
No, it's exciting.
It was like a sick and twisted moment.
No, I don't want to be like a dickhead, but it's exciting.
I was like, it like suddenly brightened, and he was like, this is a sad moment, and you're smiling,
You're
sicko.
like, do it!
Yeah, I was like, you're crying. Yay. Like, if anything good came out of this situation.
It's like, I just needed to know it was in there.
Yeah.
Like, I just needed to know.
Truly, I was like, our dog like got really sick, but Mike cried. So it's okay.
No, it's okay. No, it is. The first time I saw John cry, I'm pretty sure I smiled, and I was like, "This is a and this
win.
It's a win.
A win is a win."
Now, when John cries, I cry. Like
I would cry if I saw John cry.
It's actually pretty terrible, but yeah.
So that's the moral of the story. Enough about this, though. I just think it's very important. Moral of the story for you all
Louis gonna be okay.
Oh, Louis fine now. He's like back to normal,
and
now
we
it's
think
like,
it's some type of virus.
There's
a lot going
look
around.
Dramatic on my Insta story because I was crying on my Insta story.
There's a lot going around.
And now Louis like, I'm like, you made a freaking miraculous recovery and making me look like a drama queen.
It could have been a virus.
I am, so it's fine. But enough about me. What about you? You guys have been facing some hardships, which I know I've said this, I'm really sorry for.
So John's grandmother passed away this past week, and so we're going to Chicago for a funeral over the weekend. So we'll be
huge.
Like, this is a Tuesday morning episode, so we'll have just gotten back. I think that's kind of where I'm appreciative of how much time we've been together in these types of scenarios, because you start to learn what like a person needs when they're kind of like going through something. But more than that, we're kind of like already in the season of like seasonal depression. And I think one thing about at least like the Northeast is like I've always had seasonal depression, like have struggled with depression, anxiety, like all of that. And then I think when you move somewhere where you truly are getting minimal hours of daylight, it just, no one is free from it.
Right.
Everybody's going to get it in like some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And so we've spent so much time just kind of like figuring out how to help each other out when we're in like a downtime. And it's really like benefited our relationship to be able to do that. This past week, I will say, it's very interesting because every type of like grief is like different for people. And so being able to have the conversation, like there was a point where John was like, I really don't think you're being that helpful. And I was like, not like, he didn't like say it like in a mean way. I just was like, I'm trying to help you, but I feel like I'm upsetting you when I try to help you.
Can I ask, what were you doing?
I thought that he like wanted to be left alone, honestly.
Okay.
Like he needed some time to himself. And he didn't want to be left alone, but like I also was like not helping the situation. So it kind of was like an impossible thing to solve. And like sometimes that looks like that. Like when you're down, like I know sometimes when I'm down, like nothing helps. And so just kind of identifying like what somebody else needs when sometimes they can't even tell you,
right,
can be difficult. And so we like had a whole conversation where we like reevaluated. I'm like, I am trying to help for what it's worth, but the way that you need help right now is maybe not how you have needed help in past scenarios. So it's kind of like a reassessment time for us for like what actually works right now and like what actually is. Because I have this thing where I'm like, even though you might have really good intentions, they might not be delivered the right way. And I would still rather always apologize to you if my intentions aren't being delivered correctly. Just like how like you would apologize to me. Like I can understand that you have the right intentions and then also understand that it's not necessarily successful in its delivery.
Well, and I think it's during times like that, like, first of all, props to you guys for being able to like even... Sorry. Got real excited. Props to you guys for even being able to like communicate through times like this, because I think with the death in the family, a grandparent, obviously it's very sad and shakes the whole family. And for the person it happens to, it's easy for them to just like shut the fuck down and not communicate. And it's sad for you. You and John have been together forever. This is like you losing a grandmother too. Like it's so easy to just like shut down and like lash out at each other and not communicate. So the fact that you guys are like having these conversations throughout the grief of like how your intentions are being delivered to each other is just like a win in itself.
And I know like I know everybody like hates an episode tease, but I know that that's something that you guys will talk about, like specifically, like you and Mike will like kind of go into it. Yeah, like you guys are going to go into that. I think that there are like a lot of people so sadly that have like related to that.
Yeah.
You know?
The getting over grieving
together.
That'll be a good conversation. We decided, just for reference, that as Caroline mentioned, Mike and I are going to come on, just the two of us, and talk about that. And Caroline and John are going to come on and talk about other stuff too.
Yes.
But that'll be a really good conversation because Mike and I have really never actually talked about that. So it'll be like a first time.
No, that'll be really great. I think for this, it's more like grief that comes on top of like already like a hard time in life. So like for us, what we've learned is like how to support each other through bouts of like if you're going through like a seasonal depression era, or if I'm going through like a physical like era of depression. And I know we got a lot of like questions on that, on how to support each other going through a hard time. And I just thought it was relevant during the season that we're in right now, because I do actually have some tips that we've learned throughout the years on stuff like this. I think the biggest thing that John and I have individually learned, which is focusing on yourself first. Ideally in a relationship, like you don't go through things at the same time. Like I have found, and I do love this, like let's put it the most dramatic way possible. Like when you're dating and like one person is like feeling really uneasy about life, or like maybe they're feeling uneasy about the relationship, but then the other person is feeling like really steadfast and confident in it. Mm-hmm. I think that those like that yin and yang happens for a reason. Like one person's really struggling in their career while another person is like really thriving. While there's an approach to say, I am very jealous, or I'm very stressed or upset, and I don't know how to express like I'm dissatisfied in my career because they're thriving. Mm-hmm. I think what's really happening is that you are having a yin and yang situation where this person is on the top of a mountain right now, which means they can bring you up with them. Like they have all of this strength up in their bank to like pull you back up from where you are.
Right.
And sometimes you're up high and they're down low.
For sure. And I think, like you said, in a couple, it's so important for that one who's feeling the high more and being kind of more on top of the mountain. It's up to you to help pull up and motivate that person. Like, that's that. And whether that logistically looks like just having a positive mindset around that person and just kind of like being a bright light and positive. Like, don't underestimate the power of positive energy around, like waking up positive.
Even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, because it can get tiring to, we've all been there where it's like, you feel like someone's in a bad mood for like days on end because they're going through a tough time.
Can't handle that.
Yeah, like of course you're like, this is extremely frustrating. But like to have that perspective of like, okay, but I'm lifting them up right now.
Yeah.
It's not, I have a hard time being like, it's not about me. It's about something else.
Yeah.
Like it's, they're not mad at me.
As we know.
Yeah, like I get upset. I'm like, you're mad at me. And he's like, no, I'm not mad at you.
And I think that's so important. Like, be able to recognize that it's not always about you. And sometimes people just need to, like, I know I just said have the positive energy all the time to innate that, but that's for the person who's like the motivated one, kind of on top of the world.
Sometimes people need to be allowed to be upset.
Like, let people feel what they feel and then be upset. If it's going on for days, then nip that in the bud. But
I think patience is a big thing. But I also think something that we run into in this season a lot is when you both find yourselves down. Maybe it's seasonal.
It's terrifying.
You know, that's hard. And I think that's where John and I have had to have revisiting conversations to be like, this is how we would normally help each other. But we have learned from experience the worst thing that you can do when you are both down is try to put the other person first. You have to say, like, you are not in charge of my happiness. Mm-hmm. We're both going to acknowledge that the other person is not in charge of our happiness. And we're going to level set with each other about what we need to refill our cups and then give each other the space. Like, the best thing that I can do for John is say, don't worry, like, about me. You have the room to fill your cup back up. Mm-hmm. And to say to him, like, the same thing. And so then we're both allowed to, like, go be selfish in the ways that we need to be selfish about to, like, refill our energy.
I love that.
And then, like, come back to the table, like, whether it's a week or two later and say, okay, like, State of the Union, this is how I'm doing. And this is how I can help you. And then that's where I can go to John and I can say, like, all walls down. Like, I know we had an episode and someone was like, I don't want to like baby my significant other getting them out of bed. And I do think about that. I'm like, sometimes when I'm like, I'm really struggling, like I work from home and I'm going through this and I'm not doing well mentally. That's where John will say, like, as a partner, like the way that I can support her is like, maybe I do coddle her a little bit to like get her out of bed in the morning with me every day and say, why don't you come work here today? And why don't you go work here today? And other times it's like tough love. Yeah. And like, that's okay too.
Yeah. I think it's all about balance. I know I say that like for everything, but that's the thing. I think like there can be some coddling, but then it is important to give that tough love. We can't coddle for too long.
You cannot be scared to give tough love.
But I also think like you made a good point at some point of just like the fact that it ebbs and flows. Like it shouldn't always be that one person is always like pulling the other person up. It should be that yin and yang. It should be going ideal situation. You both are a power couple on top of the world, feeling the best. And that is attainable, I think.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can both really be in a flow and like be really feeling it. But I'm just repeating everything you're saying because it was so good. The focusing on yourself is so key. I know people are always like, self-love, have self-love. But it's for a reason. Once you start focusing on yourself, magical things happen. I'm not kidding.
No, they do.
Like, that sounds so cheesy.
No, and
all like a Pinterest quote.
No, magical things happen, and it is a balance, and it is just like having faith in the other person. Because I can take a look at John or have a conversation with John and be like, okay, I need to go into gear of like partnership method here because he's doing the best that he can, and this is as far as it's getting him right now. And so like I'm going to do more than I would usually do. I'm going to take up more of the household responsibilities, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I've seen him do that for me countless times.
Right.
But also, if I ever and when I ever get to a place where I'm like, I cannot do that right now, like that is going to push me down to a place further than I already am because it's an expectation that I cannot sustain. I don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to do it. And it's like a mutual understanding of like those things, but it is tough love. And I'm not scared to piss John off. He's not scared to piss me off. Yeah.
No,
I'm not scared at all. Like if I say something that I know he's not going to agree with, but I do think that he needs to hear it, like I'll say it anyways.
Which I love because I've seen relationships where the wife just kind of pipes down and stays quiet.
But I don't know if it's like a dual street type of thing because in a hard time, he also does that to me. Like he has seen me go through so many cycles of hard times. Sometimes he knows what I need to do even if I don't want to hear it. And he's like, I'd rather you be mad at me for 2 days because I like pissed you off by suggesting something you don't want to do. And then a week later, you're like, okay, fine, I did it. And it
That's
helped.
Really like at the end of the day, the most unselfish thing you can do to somebody that you're with is be honest and push them to be their best self, even if they don't want to hear it.
Even if they don't want to hear it. I always say, and it applies in marriages, I say like being a good friend is being the hard friend sometimes. Yeah. Like they're not like
it's so easy to be the easy friend.
It's easy to be the easy friend. But being an easy friend is not being a good friend.
Yeah.
Being a good friend sometimes means being the hard friend.
Yeah.
And that applies in marriages.
So much. Like if your goal is to help that person and it's going to be hard, that's the good friend. Now, if you're just like feeling mean and want to be mean no, that's not.
No.
If you're like being honest just to like take out anger.
But you know what I mean. Like I'm not going to let somebody tell me that I'm being mean because I disagree with my husband. Yeah. But I also am not going to be mean to my husband.
Right.
Like they're very different things.
Never mean.
No.
Never mean.
No. If John told me that I was being mean, like I would cry.
Yeah.
I really would cry. But we're trying to go through that right now. And he had his sadness. And I told my sisters, I told them once, I was like, if you ever see John cry, like it'll make you cry. And my sister and I went out to hug John in the driveway and he was like we hugged him and it kind of made him like start crying.
When you were saying goodbye?
No, when his grandmother was about to go into her surgery. And I look at my sister, and the second that he like got a tear, she's like bawling. And I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like terrible.
Yeah. Men crying, like, I know this is our society, but it's like sadder than women.
Oh, no. It's really, really bad.
It depends. There's some people that like their cry face is very sad and you just cry by seeing them cry. But others.
Oh, because you can like see their heartbreak in their soul.
Yeah. That's mine. If you see me cry, it makes everybody cry.
Yeah, no, if you see me cry, you're like, okay, just another day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, before we go on, we want to shout out our favorite sponsor, which is Bride Bright, which is getting us all ready for all the events. It's getting us all ready for the pod. It's getting us ready for weddings. John and I both have the couples bundle, which we also have the toothbrush, which we love, and it has an amazing whitening setting. We love the LED brightening sets. We love the desensitizing pen, which I personally really, really need. I love the ring cleaner. I love the whitening teeth wipes. I love the brightening pens for on the go. The whole thing is like an absolute steal. You can get the sets individually. You can get the couples bundle, and then you can also get it that it includes the toothbrush as like an all-in-one situation, which I do recommend because I do feel like it's the best deal. If you use the code HONEY at checkout at www.bridebright.co, BRIDEBRITE.co, you will get 40% off at checkout. You can also find them on TikTok at bride_bright or on Instagram at bridebright. If you're looking to buy in person or online at other retailers, they have them at Saks, Bloomingdale's, Zola, and Anthropologie. It is a fantastic deal, and we definitely encourage you to go all in on the bundle for your special day. Okay, so we're going to play Lover Wore Black Tie Event Edition in honor of the Golden Globes this past week.
Okay, Lover War scenarios. We're going to speed through these for you guys. The first one, takes longer than you to get ready.
War.
Gross.
I need you to steam my dress.
Same.
Who else is going to do it? I don't have an assistant.
Same. Like, I know there's men out there that take longer than women to get ready. And, like, why?
No. I mean, we have one sink in our bathroom. I need you to get out.
Well, Mike's the king
Make me a
of
cocktail.
waiting until the last second to get ready. He gets ready in 5 minutes.
But it's... Wait, so is that all of us? Because John sits there pretty much naked. And I'm, like, doing my makeup. And he's like, let me know when you're 5 minutes out. And then I'll start getting ready. Because... It only takes him 5 minutes, but I'm like, but I am like in a gown and you're still naked and then you're still ready before me.
They all do that. Also, I don't know if any of your men do this, but Mike, I think like purposefully waits until I'm doing my hair in our small, tiny bathroom, curling it and blow drying it to get in the shower. And I'm like, the steam just ruined my hair.
Yeah. I think John's trying to make a point when he waits.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to get out of other tasks. Because if he gets ready first, this is paradise for me.
That's true.
Because
then you delegate.
If you could pay me to delegate, I'd be the best person in this country for delegation. I really would be.
That's
I could delegate like crazy.
When Mike is done and ready earlier than me, I'm saying, go walk Louie. I'm saying, make me a drink.
Do the dishes. Make me a drink. Do you want to make a cute little cocktail? Do you want to? I need someone to steam my dress, please. Like, go pick out my perfume. These are the things that I need.
Yeah, like you're put to work.
It's my paradise when he's ready early. So maybe
They do it strategically.
Oh, I'm gonna remember this next time.
They do this. They're sometimes they're
That's
smarter
maniacal.
than we think. Yeah,
that's maniacal. But like, don't you want
Honestly,
a cocktail?
Yeah,
I want a getting ready cocktail, but. See, here's the thing. I don't have time to make the getting ready cocktail because I'm already making us late.
Right. So like, that's the men's job is to, or Mike, like when we're in a hotel room getting ready for a wedding, Mike will be like, yeah, he'll be like ready. Sometimes he'll get ready early and he'll be like, I just need to like disappear. He'll like run somewhere while I'm getting ready. And I'm like, where are you going? I don't know.
He just needs to disappear.
Like, he'll like be on an errand. And
I need
I'm like,
to
what
remind
are you
myself
getting?
that I'm a man. I'm just going to disappear.
Yeah. Like they just like busy themselves with stupid stuff. Okay.
Wow. I hate that. Okay. Want solo pictures before the event.
What the fuck? War.
If I ask you, do you want a picture? You're allowed to be like, okay, like just one. But even then it's like, I kind of just want to ask you and you say no.
If I want you to asked me for a solo picture.
No, I would actually cringe until I pass out. You already complain about taking my pictures. Like, he's actually one of the better men about taking pictures. Like, he knows exactly how to do it. But when he doesn't want to do it, it's like he thinks he's hiding it and he has a terrible poker face. Like, I know you don't want to do this. I know you don't want to even, like, take group pictures.
Right.
Don't then pop up asking me for a solo.
I would just be like, for what? Your social media?
Yeah, what do you need it for? You want it for LinkedIn?
Your Insta? Like, men shouldn't be using social media.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't you just want a candid, though? Like, I'll just take candids of John. I really would prefer him never ask.
Those are cute.
Because boys can't smile anyways. They do that.
Yeah, no.
They do that elementary school smile.
The one exception with a solo photo, if it's like for something, like or is if like there's something in the background, like you're at a theme park and they want a photo with fucking Mickey Mouse. I don't fucking know. But
that being, I thought you were going to say like if you need like a new like LinkedIn profile picture. But the theme park Mickey Mouse.
You should be like professional enough.
Mickey, can you take a picture of me in front of Cinderella's castle?
We're done using LinkedIn profile photos that are from weddings. Use? I want you to have like get a headshot.
Get a headshot.
All right, the next one takes his shirt off on the dance floor.
I hate it.
I love because Mike does this at every wedding.
Yeah, it's a split down the middle.
So
I think you have to be dating somebody that's good at doing that though, because when I imagine John doing that, I want to go hide in the bathroom.
It's definitely like a thirsty move, but Mike, there's something called Wedding Mike, which all of our friends know. It's like Mike's drunk wedding persona that comes out, and he's usually like more reserved, but he gets insane. But it's so funny, and everybody loves it, and he takes his shirt off. I love it.
Does he leave his tie on?
No. But
because I have seen that.
I will say it ruins a dress shirt, and then we have to like get him another dress shirt.
I have seen that. I think I could split down the middle. Like I have friends that do, whose like boyfriends, fiancés, husbands do the shirt off. Mm-hmm. And then I have friends who don't. But I could pretty much look at them all and be like, if the people that didn't do it did it, I'd be icked out. But then the people that do it don't ick me out because somehow it just works.
Right.
You got to know which person you are.
You have to own it.
You have to own it. Gives you a kiss on the red carpet.
Why would that be war?
No, I think that's cute.
That's love.
But some people hate PDA.
I hate if you don't do PDA. Mike knows this. I'm like, you do this in private to me. Why the fuck can't we do it in public?
Okay, when we lived in Charlotte, Dawn was like a no PDA guy, and I would get mad. All of a sudden, and I like tell her friends, New York John is like PDA John. I am like, oh, I'm like, what happened to you? Like, it's awesome. And it gives me butterflies every single time. I'm like, thank you so much.
Like, if my philosophy on that is if you're not PDA, I'm not saying like be so PDA that you're making others around you uncomfortable, but like don't overthink, like don't try to be PDA, just do what you're feeling.
When you're at dinner with a group of people, you don't always need to sit next to your significant other. You don't need to be like holding hands at their table and like rubbing their legs and stuff. That's not what we mean, because we're like, we will sit on opposite ends of the table from everybody. Like we don't
like
care.
Separate genders when we go out to dinner.
100%. And I recently felt bad about this. I was like, is that very sexist of me that I'm always like girls on this? But whatever. But I just mean like hold my hand, like kiss me, like it's a
Just do what you feel, and you better be feeling that you love me and want to touch me.
But what you feel better be that you want to kiss me. Yeah. It better. Also, maybe New York's just more of a PDA city. So whatever you're doing, there's somebody in your close proximity doing something way worse, because people are like making out in booths. Like they've never kissed anybody in their entire life before. But so maybe it makes you like more comfortable.
Yeah. No one gives a fuck in New York. You can do whatever you want. There's always going to be somebody doing more than you or doing less. But yeah, I mean, overall, like when we're all on a red carpet together, me, you, Mike, John, etc. If I don't get a kiss in front of the Getty photographers.
Okay. I want the kiss. I want the waist squeeze. Snatch me in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I want you to like do the little walk off where you're like, no, like let her get her solo picture.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. That would be, that's
Mike's
the goal.
like awkward. He won't know how to like navigate a red carpet. I'll just have to coach. Okay. Poor Mike.
But that in itself is cute because they have the little film where you can like see them talking to each other, and it's so cute.
That is cute. Okay. They are a bad dancer and have no rhythm.
Yeah, I don't like that. I hate that.
That's absolute war, but I hate to say Mike, he dances Which that's all I can ask. At the end of the day, if you're like one of those weird guys.
He's not sitting at the table like, I won't get off.
No, that would be an
like
that is like a deal breaker for me. Like, honestly.
Who are you too good for here?
No, that would be bye-bye. But he tries.
That's
but
cute.
He just is. It frustrates me. So it's not like I'm some like professional dancer over here, but I am naturally like have rhythm. I will say, like, whatever.
Has anybody else seen Nikki's videos of her dancing? We should compare us because we both actually were dancers in high school.
I like wasn't a dancer.
Well, you danced in your Broadway shows.
Yeah. Like it wasn't real, but
you were pop locking and dropping it.
Yeah, I just have a natural rhythm. It's like, and I love to dance at these events.
Yeah, I danced like fully in company.
Oh, that's
until college. I couldn't do it. If someone didn't dance, I'd be like
later,
literally
I didn't actually know that, and now I'm fascinated. I'm gonna like grill you on that later. But yeah, no, I just like I like need Mike to take a lesson or two. It's affecting our relationship. It really is.
I love it.
And like I just think a guy that is a good dancer, hottest thing ever.
This is like, I don't know if this is embarrassing, but like when I was little, I would like go to bed at night. I would be like, as long as I marry somebody that can like dance with me, like on the dance floor. Like I used to dream that like my perfect man would be like just a good dancer. Like maybe my bar was just like so low that it's actually depressing. But I was like, as long as he's a good dancer. But like a lot of people can't dance. So like that for me would be war. And I love that John and I can like dance at weddings and just like dance wherever.
Good, though? Like he hits the beat.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's a good dancer. For sure. Like no doubt about it. He's a good dancer. It's awesome.
Must be fucking nice.
But then sometimes, oh my God, my jealous side's about to come out. Sometimes girls will be like, teach me how to dance, John. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, I don't like it.
I would be like,
yeah, like I don't like it at all. Like I'm like trying to be the girl's girl and I'm like, yeah! And I'm like, oh, inside I'm like, actually, I'm going to vomit.
Back off.
Like, and John's like, doesn't get it. He's like, sure. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, take a hint. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay. Tell Selena Gomez she can't take a picture with you.
This is the Golden Globes reference you told me about before this, where Kylie was like, no, Timothy, you cannot take a picture with Selena.
Which may or may not happened. We don't know. But
there's speculation. I mean, war. It's giving like crazy.
Yeah.
And like we can be crazy. All of us women are crazy. Let's just admit it.
Oh, yeah. Like this is my man. But like it ain't a good look, girly.
Pretend to not be crazy.
Yeah.
In the moment.
I have had so many moments where I've been like, be the bigger person in this moment and then go home and tell them how you were the bigger person.
Right. Yeah.
I know it's so toxic, but I'm like, you see how I could have done this in this moment because that girl was like mean to me. I didn't.
And it's hotter when you're the bigger person.
Yeah. I agree. Hotter. Okay. For turn on and ick of the week, Nikki's going to go first with her turn on of the week. She might have already touched on it a little bit.
Well, no, I didn't like think before this, but my turn on was definitely like Mike being amazing in the Louis situation. But for the sake of the fun of this, my turn on and ick for this week are going to kind of be the same, and I'll explain.
Okay. Wait, I like this.
My turn on, it all relates to like the conversation we had about like the depression earlier. My turn on is morning Mike. But my ick is also morning Mike, and I'll explain the ick side of it. There's two halves of morning Mike. Turn on is that he's always very happy in the mornings. He wakes up like a ray of fucking sunshine, which is a turn on because mornings can be tough, and I need good positive energy in the mornings.
Yeah.
So,
but is it also annoying?
Well, we're going to get to that. Because
I got a pit in my stomach when you said that he's a ray of sunshine in the morning. I was like, okay.
Sometimes the sunshine might be a little too bright, and I need to shut the blinds to shut it out. We'll get to that. I'll wait till we get to X. What is your turn on?
Wait, I want to know more about his cheerfulness in the morning because like I don't know that. Like I'm like, what's wrong? And John's like, that I woke up 5 minutes ago. Like, that's actually what's wrong.
Mike just, like, springs out of bed, does a workout, and is ready to fucking start the day. Like, makes a smoothie. Always, like, very optimistic about the day, which I think is a very admirable quality. Because, like, I fucking dread the day sometimes. Like, wake up dreading life. Yeah, I mean, he wakes up. He'll, like, when he walks by me, well, okay, I'll just get into the ick. When he walks by me, it depends what mood I'm in, if I'm icked out by it. So, like, for example, he'll, like, touch a lot in the morning, which touch is love language, but sometimes not at 7 a.m.
Yeah. Sometimes you're like,
in a small apartment.
Actually, stop touching me.
Yeah.
Like,
he'll smack my ass in the morning when he's walking by, and ew, that sounded so weird. I got the ick from me saying that. But sometimes I will, like, be like, ooh, hot, cool, fun. Other times I'm like, get the fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just depends what side of the bed I woke up on. If I, like, slept in on accident and woke up late. But if I, like, got my sleep, woke up on the right foot, got my workout in, then I love it. But what else? Like, he'll, like, be, like, a jokester in the morning. Like, he'll stand in my way when I'm, like, trying to get by and there's, like, clothes on the floor and stuff.
You're like, you're just not there yet. I'm not there yet mentally.
And it'll either be funny or I'm like, I want to wring your fucking neck.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hit or miss. It depends on how I'm perceiving it.
Yeah.
So that is why Morning Mike is both my ick and my turn on of the week. It's a little riddle for you.
No, that makes sense. He doesn't know what he's going to get.
No.
In Mike's defense, he's waking up like, is Nikki going to love it today or is she going to hate it?
It depends. I need to, like, if anybody has any morning tips for, like, how to wake up really happy, I should probably just ask Mike. We'll have him go
Does
through.
anybody, like, that just must be like you're born that way.
It's a perspective thing.
It is a perspective thing. John recently asked me, like, if I really needed that many hours of sleep a night. And I was like, do you want to fight today or not?
Yeah, we need sleep. No, we'll have Mike come on and give us
I was like, you
tips
might,
for
but I
waking
think
up happy.
everyone's just different.
Yeah.
Like, I need 10 hours of sleep to operate on what you get probably from 5. Ask God. I don't have the answers.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't.
No, I don't either. What's your ick?
Well, I'll start with my turn on.
Okay.
John is entering his, like, hosting era, and I love it. So we had this couple over for drinks on Saturday, and, like, it's, like, John's friend and his girlfriend, and we were, like, really, really excited to meet her. And so I'm thinking, like, usually like I said last week, I'm the person that I kind of want to do too much. And so I'll just do it myself because I don't really, like, want to listen to somebody else, like, whine about how I'm doing too much, like, no matter who it is. And so I said to John, and I was like, let's do, like, a cute little cocktail. And we have a little cocktail book, and we'll, like, make something there, and we'll put out charcuterie, and, like, we'll clean this and this and this. And I was expecting, like, oh, like, they don't care. Like, like, it's fine. Like, we'll just have a bottle of wine. But what I got instead was, oh, like, I actually saw this reel for, like, this really cool cocktail. Like, what if we made this and, like, bought all the ingredients? And, like, what if we got
reel?
He saw a reel, and he's, like, getting into his little hosting era. And he's like, what if we, like, do this thing? And, like, where I usually take the little, like, nicks and knacks of, like, the, like, creativeness of these hosting extravaganzas, he's, like, getting into it. He's, like, invested. He's like, I want to make this fresh thing and, like, put out this fresh snack and, like, and
that's cute.
And his little, like farmer's market era, he, like, loves the fresh fish and the fresh veggies. And I'm like,
a charcuterie board.
Yeah, like, he's like coming to, like, my side with the little, like, hosting things, and it's bringing me so much joy.
Yeah, that's your crack.
Because I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always do it anyways. And, like, the thing is that he always helps. But to have off the back of him expressing interest in the Christmas decor, even though I had to, like, eat my own crap on that one because then he had opinions on it.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
Too much interest.
Yeah. Like, find your balance.
Right.
But I'm, like, on the back of that, I'm like, life is getting so good right now. I'm like, he's interested in everything I'm interested in, and I'm loving it.
I like that.
It's not even forced. It's just like,
I love when Mike gets very into hosting too, not to, like, steal your turn on, but
he does.
He does. He really does.
He's the one that will run out and, like, get everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
He's a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
And he, like, wants to have a murder mystery party, which I'm like, yes.
Yes, I love that. I also think that he's, like, I'm a year older than John, so sometimes I think he's, like, this sounds so delusional, but sometimes I think he's, like, catching up to me in my year where I'm like,
no, that's
sometimes
normal.
I think we are the same person. And I'm like, well, at 29, I started to be interested in these things. So when John turns 29, he'll also start to be interested in these things. And that's maybe what I tell myself to sleep at night.
That makes sense.
Okay, my ick of the week is that John ruins my pillowcases.
Ooh.
Ruins them. Like, he hates our sheets. They're linen and they stretch like crazy. And it's not my fault. I did my research before I bought them. And they were not cheap. Like, these were big girl and boy purchases for bedding. So it annoys me when he hates on the sheets and like the duvet cover. Because like I can't do it. Like, it was expensive.
Linen low key like can suck though.
Yes, it can. And I get it. But at the same time, it's like he acts like we should just throw it out. And I'm like, well, we're not like made of money, my guy.
What does this look like?
Yeah.
You use them sheets and you like them.
And he's just always in bed yelling about the sheets. Like, he's like kicking them and shaking them and like talking to himself about how mad he is. So he doesn't respect our bedding. And so sometimes, like, especially after he gets that haircut, he puts on his like little do-rag and he has this one that's velvet and it bleeds purple. And like, it is not expensive. Our sheets are expensive. What you're putting on your head is not expensive. Get a new one that doesn't stain everything. It bleeds purple. So it bleeds onto like all of our pillowcases. I've tried to get the stains out a million times. It literally ruins them. He doesn't care because he hates the sheets.
Sometimes men are going to not understand the value of $1.
So I'm like, I don't care how much you hate the sheets. They were expensive. You need to figure something else out. So now he like starts putting like a t-shirt on top of the pillowcase before he goes to sleep on it.
This is a contraption.
Like, these are the things that he's doing to not just get a new do-rag that will not bleed on the sheets.
You need to just Amazon.
It's like $15. I'm like, how else do I express to you these sheets are more valuable than your velvet do-rag that is bleeding on the sheets, even if you don't like them?
You need to hack into his Amazon credit card, go on, get him a new normal do-rag that's not
No, there's one sitting up. There's one sitting up in our bathroom. He won't use it.
He loves the velvet.
And I've asked him, I'm like, is this like the next big thing? Like this specific do-rag that you use? And he's like, no.
It could be worse, but that is annoying. And I'd be like, all right, then it's up to you to purchase some new sheets, bucko.
It just like, stop it. I don't want purple spots all over everything.
Yeah, no, me neither.
So that's my ick of the week. It's just like very,
I love that.
It seems like a solvable issue that we can't get to.
The do-rag.
We just can't.
Do-rag.
I'm like looking at him as he gets into bed with it on, and I'm like looking at him with the side eye, and he's like looking at me with the side eye.
Honestly, just hide it.
He's like crawling in bed, and I'm like looking at him, and he's like getting back out, and
just
I'm like
hide it. Anything like your man has that you don't want them to have, just get rid of it one day.
I'm just gonna order new ones and be like, I don't know how they got here. Okay, guys, we love you so much. Thank you for tuning in for this week. Next week,
you all are so beautiful and amazing and awesome, and I want to be you.
Yeah. And next week, we will have the boys on for our first guest ever, which only seems fitting. And we will have so many questions of you guys for them to answer. We'll put them under the gun. We'll put them on under the radar.
Yeah, why don't you guys submit questions?
We hope you have the best week ever. We love you.
Bye, my little honey pots.